Hello everybody, this is Dan, Technology Business Executive for IOTEX Systems based here in Gurgaon, India. I would like to take this opportunity to walk you through our first product XWATCH KIDS, the hardware, software, and how this product can make your life easy. To take a look at the hardware. So this is the box in which the XWATCH KIDS comes. We'll first open the box. You will be greeted by our thank you card, and then once we look inside, there's the XWATCH KIDS hardware for boys, and then we will open this box on one side, and it has a USB charging cable. You can connect it on one side to any USB charging port, and on the other side you can connect it to the device. And now let's open this other box, which has the user manual for the XWATCH KIDS hardware, and also there is a warranty card which you can fill out and keep for your own records in case there is a need for a service issue. So now let's take a look at the features of the XWATCH KIDS hardware. So there is a SIM slot on one side which uses a micro SIM card which has to be 2G enabled with GPRS support. So the micro SIM slides into the micro SIM slot on the side of the watch. You just press it in until you hear a click sound. You can secure it by closing the cover. There is a power button on the other side. You have to long press the power button. The device comes on and displays the IOTEX logo and then displays time. So now on the display, by pressing the power button once, a short press, you can see that the GPRS and the SIM card is enabled. There is service and there's a battery display to show the power, and that the GPS state is off because the watch is inside a building. So the top button is for making a call, dialing a preset number, and it shows on the display that the watch is calling a preset number, and that number is my mobile phone. As you can see, I'm able to receive the call from the watch, and now I can terminate this call by pressing the power button once, and the call is aborted. So that's basically the calling feature. So now let's move further and review the SOS button, which is on the bottom of the watch. You have to long press the SOS button for 3 seconds, and it will display a microphone symbol on the display. So the watch enters a spy mode, and in this spy mode it will automatically start accepting calls without the need of having any button pressed. So parents can spy on their children by calling the watch. So you can now terminate that by pressing the power button, and then by long pressing the power button for 3 seconds you can shut off the watch. So we have a watch for the girls, pink in color, and one for the boys, blue in color. Now let's take a look at the Android and iOS XWATCH application. So first, open the XWATCH application by clicking on the icon. You will be shown a login window. If you're a new user, press the new user button and you will be displayed a user registration form. You have to fill out your name, a valid mobile number which will be used to monitor the XWATCH KID hardware, a valid email, and the IMEI number which is located on the box of the XWATCH KIDS hardware. The IMEI number has to be a valid IMEI number for the login to be successful. You can enter a username which will be used to log into the account, and you will be also prompted for a password which you can create. So now let's enter the username which you have already created for the new user, and you have to enter your password to log in to the application. So now press sign in. You will be taken to the XWATCH tracking center. You can find yourself on a map. There are devices, locate, and services on the top. Click on devices. You will be shown a list of devices which you're currently monitoring. Press on the locate icon, the tracking icon, and a particular device can be located on a map. You touch on the icon, the tracking icon, again on a map, and you can see that it is Arav, his current location, and there's a calling button. You press on the green calling button and a call will be directly connected from the software application to the particular XWATCH hardware, and you can see that you're able to call the watch directly from the application. So terminate the call and you can go back using the back button to the main screen, click on devices, and then you can see a listing of all other devices you're currently monitoring. Press the calling button directly from here and you can also place a call to the XWATCH Kids hardware. So now let's come back to the devices screen and press the settings button, and you can see the settings being displayed for the particular XWATCH hardware. So here we are looking at Arav's hardware. We are entering a primary number which will be used and set on the XWATCH hardware from the software application. So I'm setting a primary number which will be accessed through the primary calling button on the XWATCH hardware. So now you can also enter a secondary number which will be another valid mobile number which the XWATCH hardware can call. And then you can enter the name of the kid which is currently wearing the hardware. And then you can set a power mode for the watch. If it is normal, it will be the most accurate, but it will also consume a lot of power. And then you can select a photograph and then update the information. And then you're back to the devices screen. And then you can see that once you've changed the settings, you can also delete it from here by pressing the delete button. By pressing the plus sign on the top, you can add a new XWATCH Kids device. You will have to enter the new device's IMEI number. It should be a valid IMEI number printed on the box of the new XWATCH device. After that, you need to enter the SIM number, the micro SIM number, which will be inserted into the SIM slot for the new XWATCH device. Select the operator and then type the name of the kid which will be associated with this particular XWATCH kid, and then you can choose to select a photograph and then save this information and then go back to the main menu, click on devices. You can see the new device being added to the list. You can refresh it by pressing the refresh button and see it activated. And then you can go to the main menu, press on locate, and then go to the XWATCH tracker and locate all your devices on a single map. As you can see, there's two tracking icons. You can touch one of the tracking icons and that shows the location of Maya, where Maya currently is, the address, and then by touching the next icon you can see the location of Arav, who is also very near to Maya. And you can zoom out and see the location of where you are with relation to the other two kids. By clicking on services, you can access XWATCH My Life Services area by clicking on it. So it takes you to XWATCH Alert Area functionality, where you can create authorized and restricted zones by long pressing on the maps. You'll get a pop-up. You can fill out a name and an area size in kilometers. So in this case, we'll be creating a good area, which is an authorized area, and the size of that area is about 2 kilometers. We add it and it gets added to the map. So now let's create a bad area. Now you flip the button to the left, which is restricted, and then we'll create a restricted area for Arav. So currently all of this functionality is being created for Arav. So we'll create another area, bad, by long pressing on the maps and then creating a size of 3 kilometers, and a bad area is created. So we've created a good area and a bad area for RF. So you can zoom out and see how these areas are located on the map. Now you can touch on the icon and see that it's a good area, and touch on the other icon and you can see it's a bad area. So let's go back and click on landmarks. It'll take you to XWATCH landmarking. So using landmarks, you can create places like school, playground, mall. So long press on the screen and you can add a new landmark. So let's see if we can create a landmark for RF. So we'll create a school. You can choose to select a photograph for this new landmark, and then you can click on add. So a new landmark gets added for RF. So now let's create another landmark. Zoom into another location of the map. So we want to create a new landmark for RF. Then we long press, a pop-up appears and you can create a new landmark like mall. Add it, and the new landmark gets added to the map. So now you have two landmarks, a home, a school, and a mall, and you can see them by touching on the two icons. So whenever RF is present in these landmark locations, it will generate an alert. So now let's go back and press on alerts. You have alert settings, where you can change all the settings the way you prefer, the battery, area, landmark, and out of bounds. For example, you can flip the buttons on and off. So this way the alerts are either enabled or disabled. And you can do this for each child independently. You can turn on and off the alerts for each child independently. And click on messages and you will get all the push notifications coming to your application listed here. All the push notifications which would have come, the alerts would be listed here, and if you have these notifications enabled on the main screen of your phone, it will get displayed there with an alarm. So as you can see, you have alerts listed, the messages which are categorized for each child differently. So you can see the alerts for Naksh, for example, like battery about to die, entered restricted area, SOS alert. Or for example, you want to scroll to another child, Avni, and you can see the alerts listed for Avni, like out of bounds, good, left authorized area, good. So alerts can be managed, read efficiently. Now let's go back and go to the logs area. In the logs area, you can access the device history. So for RF, you can choose to enter a day by choosing the calendar and the time. So once you choose a day and a time, you can access the logs for RF on that day at that time as to where he was. And you can also, by pressing the icon on the top right corner of the map, you can actually see the route RF took. So you can see RF is walking across, and you can get the data from the database, and you can see the tracking logs by pressing the icon on the top right corner of the maps window. So you can zoom in to the tracking logs, and then let's come back to the main screen and press the top three buttons on the right side, and you can access My Life Services, from where all the service plans for the various devices are listed, from where you can choose to renew or purchase a new service plan and a term of service, either 1 month, 6 months, 9 months, or 12 months, and then you can buy it from the app itself. You can choose to renew or buy a service, and then you can go through the payment gateway and make the payment. You can also access the user settings from the top menu, like change your username, password, or your email, all from the app itself. Come back to the main menu, and then you can also get in touch with us. In case you do have a problem, you can just send us your name, a subject, and a brief message, and IOTEX will be in touch with you to take care of your queries. Also, there is a help menu which is directly accessible from the application, and it takes you through a list of all the features of the hardware and all the features of the software, which you can read through in case you have any queries on the usage of the hardware or the XWATCH application. As you can see, the XWATCH help menu is very useful. So now coming back to the main menu, you press back and you will be able to log out of the XWATCH application. Thank you.